Some of the biggest fashion trends for 2025 are already starting to look dated and redated for 2026. So in today's video, we're going to break down exactly what styles we should leave behind and what's coming in instead. Starting off with chunky boots, and I will say that we have been in a chunky boot moment for quite a while now. I'm talking your big Chelsea boots, your big chunky lug sole boots, and those big giant combat boots. Now, other than them all being big, one of the biggest things that they have in common is that they're big and bulky and chunky. So what ends up happening is that your eye is just completely drawn to this big old boot that you have at the bottom of your outfit, and it kind of just takes away from the whole outfit in general because all we're looking at is this big giant shoe weighing you down. So in 2026, what we're seeing is just a shift to something that's a little bit more refined, a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more elevated with fashion in general and with your shoes. It's just something that's a more polished, classic, and streamlined. So if you're looking to update your boots this season, I would say definitely stick to a slimmer silhouette, maybe a kitten heel or a block heel style, something that's just a lot less heavy and bulky and a lot more streamlined and classic instead. Now, speaking of chunky, another big chunky trend that I think that we need to leave behind in 2025 is big chunky shoes. Not just boots, but your clunky styles. Platforms, platform Uggs, these big chunky dad sneakers, these are all on the way out. And it's really for the same reason as the big boots, right? Like they just kind of have a lot of visual weight, they read bulky, and they kind of draw the attention there. The other thing is that it makes the shoe do a lot of the heavy lifting from the outfit instead of letting like the whole outfit work together. The fashion moment right now is really just shifting away from this like look at me shoe to just polish in general. So instead of the chunky dad sneakers, you're going to want to swap those out for your low retro trainers. These have been in for several years now. So hopefully you have a couple of pairs of these in your closet. And honestly, they do a lot of heavy lifting. They look great with casual outfits. You can wear them with dresses. You can wear them for errands. They go with literally everything. So this is like one of the most wearable shoe trends of the moment. These big chunky loafers were in for a really long time, and loafers are something that's classic and is never going to go out of style. But instead of getting loafers that literally have teeth on them, we could swap that out for something that's a little bit prettier and polished and is probably going to last you a lot longer. Now again, if this is something that you love and you own already, by all means wear what you want. Please don't shoot the messenger. This video is for purely entertainment purposes. We can't talk about what's in and what's out without talking about cutouts, and cutouts is one of those tricky subjects because as much as I say they're in or they're out, like they just kind of evolve and they change a little bit. So this one is one of those where you're definitely going to have to really look at the pictures. Hopefully that helps illustrate my point. Cutouts that are out of style are like cutouts in your shoulders. Like the cold shoulders have been dead for quite a while. We're seeing the death of the side cutouts. We saw a lot of those where like there'd be a cutout in your stomach, a cutout right up in the middle of your chest, which made like no sense, and cutouts on the sides. I think those kind of cutouts are definitely out of style. But we're seeing them just placed a little bit differently. So that's one trend to notice, and a lot less cutouts in general in favor of lace and mesh. I do think it's a little bit more refined and elegant in kind of like the evolution of the cutout trend. Some people are going to say it's out completely. Some people are going to say it's in. It's hard because we're always going to see some kind of cutouts, I think. So it's more important to notice that it's really just like evolved in where they're placed, how they're used, and maybe looking for outfits that have a little bit more of lesh or lesh. I just combined a word. I just put mesh and lace together. Made a new word. Anyway, lace or mesh details. I think you're not going to be surprised to see the end of this trend, and that is denim midi and maxi skirts. And what happened there is that when a trend comes in hard and fast and is like really big, it leaves just as quickly. It just was really in, and now people are over it. Thing with the denim midi and maxi skirts is that one, they're a little bit stiff. They kind of restrict your movement, especially that pencil skirt style. I would say that one in particular is kind of out, and they're a little bit bulky. And when you sit, it's so awkward. I even have a video that I filmed in a denim midi skirt, and I remember it like was poofing up here all bulky. I just can see how it's not necessarily the most practical thing. That being said, denim skirts are always kind of classic, so we're seeing them just in the shorter skirts right now. Denim skirts that aren't necessarily pencil thin look a little bit more up to date at the moment if you really like your denim skirts. But I think that this is one trend that we can just leave behind. I also want to make clear that maxi skirts themselves are not the problem. It's specifically the denim pencil Maxi. That is more so the issue. Maxi skirts are still very much in style, yay, and they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. But really that like pencil thin one that restricts your movement and you have to walk weird in, those are definitely out. Now, speaking of denim, light wash denim is a little bit less in style at the moment. I'm not saying you can't wear it at all if you love your light wash denim. It's just right now, the denim trend of the moment is definitely your dark wash. Light wash, especially if it's light wash with holes in it, especially if it's light wash with holes in it and it's a skinny jean, is really reading super dated. Like those need to leave the room. They definitely gotta go, especially that trifecta, right? That's definitely dated. We're still seeing more streamlined, like I'm repeating myself, but again, streamlined is really like a good word for 2026 fashion. So the straight leg is streamlined. The dark wash style is just very sleek and elegant, right? Like I said, with the shoe trends and everything that's going on at the moment, is just a lot more clean and sophisticated. And we're just not seeing that ripped denim, especially that ripped light. If you are craving a lighter denim because you just don't love dark denim or the medium wash, I would say chambray is something that's still very much in, and it's a classic that doesn't go out of style. But definitely stay away from that super light wash or like the acid wash denim. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about one fashion trend that I think that you are going to be happy to hear is kind of starting to look a little bit dated, and that is oversized blazers, especially those really giant oversized blazers. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that literally only runway models can pull off, because in real life, people look totally clownish wearing these giant blazers. And these were styled like with biker shorts or leggings or workout outfits, or they were styled over dresses and maxi dresses and all sorts of things, which is fine. Blazers themselves don't go out of style, but the silhouette of blazers does tend to evolve over time. And right now we're definitely seeing the oversize on its way out. And I, for one, am definitely happy about that because it's just not as easy to pull off. And I don't think it's as flattering. So instead of an oversized blazer, we are seeing a little bit more waist definition again, which is much more flattering and classic. Silhouettes that have a lot more shape and definition. I'm not saying you can't get oversized, but I think that giant clownish look is definitely on its way out. The next 2025 trend that's starting to look a little bit dated in 2026, I'm going to say with a caveat, so bear with me please, is cowboy boots. Now, cowboy boots came in hot and they are evolving. Now, if you are actually like a cowgirl and you wear this outfit, then of course it's classic and it's never going to go out of style. I don't even know if I should have to explain that, but here I am, I'm explaining that. But I think that cowboy boots got a little costumey for a minute there and really, really trendy. And we had like city girls who would never wear Western boots suddenly wearing them with everything. And I think that is evolving a little bit. So instead of the full-on cowboy boot, we're seeing boots with Western influences. So this has the block heel, like the kind of the cowboy boot silhouette, but less of the full jazz with the rhinestones and that whole thing. And again, I think it really depends on your style, where you live, and your aesthetic. I have some white Western boots that I still wear, but I also live in the desert. I mean, I live in suburbia, but also across the street, there's like land with horses. It's kind of weird to explain. Scottsdale's like that. But anyways, like that kind of thing goes around here. So that's different. You'd have to really assess like your lifestyle and where you live. All that to say, I kind of went in a circle here, that the costumey cowboy boot, I think, is kind of out. We're seeing more of a Western silhouette, but again, with a caveat, it depends on where you live and your lifestyle and your trend and all that. If you want to like really take this trend seriously, I just think that for the costume style, I'm having fun with this trend and I'm going all in on a cowboy thing when that's not really your trend or where you live, is out. This next dead 2025 trend, which I honestly didn't even really see a lot of in 2025, and please do not shoot the messenger on this because I know some of you will be upset to hear me say this, but I do think that leggings are not the hottest pick at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that you can't wear leggings or that leggings are out forever, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of people who are like, oh my God, you can't tear me away from my leggings. And that's fine. I actually was gonna put out a whole video on how to style what leggings and make them look more modern. But when I was working on this video, I realized that I haven't worn my leggings once this fall and winter season, which really surprised me. And I usually, millennial, like I go towards my leggings, but I just feel like there's a lot of other options. Right? We have a lot of elevated joggers and a lot of elevated wide leg trousers and sweats and pull-on pants that feel just as good as a legging. They just look a little bit nicer and are a little more on trend and a little bit more up to date. Again, I'm not going to pry your leggings out of your hands if you really live by them and you love them. And if you still want me to make that video, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. We can still find ways to wear them. But personally, I just think that there's a lot fresher styles to try. If you do want a fresher style, like immediately, I would say the stirrup legging is kind of having a moment. Like that particular style is very, very on trend. I would say beyond the stirrup legging, if you're looking to look more updated, then, definitely your cropped sweater, the chunky sneakers, the socks, the leggings outfit, like that's kind of a more updated legging outfit at the moment. And let me be clear, if I saw you wearing this outfit out and about, or I saw you at school pickup wearing this, I would think you look cute. I'd probably be like, oh, you look cute. Like that's a cute outfit. You're, on trend. So I'm not saying wearing leggings is like a fashion don't, but I do think that the writings on the wall, they've been going out for years. There's literally articles circulating around right now about how Gen Z has declared the death of the leggings, which I kind of don't care about because I don't really care what Gen Z has to think about what I wear because I'm not Gen Z and I'm not trying to impress them. And in some situations, I think it's totally wrong. Like you cannot convince me that a head to toe cute leggings outfit at the gym is not as cute than this sweatpants and crop top thing that they're wearing. One is clearly hotter than the other, but whatever, that's fine. Wear what we want. Anyways, all that to say, is that it's just been kind of on writing on the wall at the moment. And if you have been scared to let go of your leggings and you really want to try something else, I just think that there are a lot of other fresher options to try right now if you feel so inclined. One other thing I wanted to put on your radar, which I hope does not also upset you, is that the waistline is shifting downward. Now, I am not saying that we are going to go full on embracing low rise. I'm probably never going to say that because I just don't think it works for, women over 40 or probably even over 30 for that matter. We just don't love that. However, we went from low rise and we've been slowly creeping up. Then we went really up, like almost rib cage high. So what's happening now is waistlines are lowering. And instead of being so high up, it's nearly at your rib cage and squeezing your lungs, it is going down a little bit to just more of a mid-rise. Is high rise totally out? No, I'm not going to say that. Is low rise totally in? I'm not going to say that either. There's got to be a little bit of compromise here. I'm just saying that when you're out shopping, don't be surprised when you see a lot more mid-rise silhouette in your denim and your trousers and a lot more lower waist options, especially in your dresses. We're seeing a lot of drop waist for 2026 and lower waisted skirts. So just something to keep in mind when you're out shopping of what you might be seeing. Now you'll have to let me know in the comments which one of these trends you are glad to see gone. And if you want to know what the hottest trends are for 2026, keep watching. I will have the video playing over here next. Bye.